smoky suit at this time, and your soul chose to be here at this time. You have some amazing, great, and wonderful things to do in this lifetime. And when you're living in a understanding of abundance, of there's always more, and there's more than enough, and you're living from that level of unlimited potential for yourself, for your life, in your relationships, in your finances, in your work in the world, your opportunities, you open up a whole new playground, a whole new playing field. So that's the topic of today's webinar. So I'm glad you're here with us today. As people are joining in and dropping in, I just want to welcome you all. I'm so honored to be of service in this way. We are going to pack in a whole lot today and open up the floodgates and the pathway, like a waterfall of understanding, and maybe some of this principle isn't new for you, but if you put on your beginner's mind today, it will allow you to use these principles in an area that you may be feeling a sense of lack. And it could be financial, it could be lack of opportunities, it could be lack of love, or deep relationships in your life. So whatever it is for you today, focus on that particular area so that you can give yourself permission to think past your current patterns, or the race that's going on in your mind, the repetition of I don't have enough, and I'm running out, or there's just no way I'm going to be able um, to have what I want to have, to do what I want to do, to be who I want to be, and to where I want to give. So allow yourself to settle in. I want to offer an opportunity for us to have a centering presence meditation before we dive in. And for those of you who are new to this program, my name is Janet Grace Nelson. I am a spiritual life coach. I am a lover of life, a lover of sharing these beautiful and profound principles to inspire and empower you to live the life you truly love. So, without further ado, I'm going to invite you to put your hand on your heart in this moment and allow your eyes to close if you are so inspired. And let's take a deep breath together. Feeling your lungs expand, your heart widen, and just allow yourself to experience and invite all of that beautiful oxygen into your body, into your bloodstream, into your heart, into your organs. And let it go. Exhale, release. Feel your shoulders soften. Feel the chair beneath your feet, chair beneath your, and the ground beneath your feet. Feel yourself supported. Feel yourself on solid ground in a physical sense. And on this next inhale, set an intention to open up your heart, to listen from that space today, from your knowing heart, and let your thinking mind take a rest, take a sabbatical. So let's take a deep breath together. Take an extra sip. Open yourself up. open, 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 and ah. Let's take one more deep breath. This time, take the breath from the bottom of your belly, taking that breath in from like you are accepting the love and support from Mother Nature, from Mother Earth. It's here to sustain you and to stabilize you and to make you feel as if you are absolutely secure in the physical body. So let's take a deep breath together. Get all the way up, all the way up, all the way up, and ah. Now one more breath from the heart. So important to connect with that beautiful, beautiful breath. It is what signifies you're alive. You're alive. Your heart is beating. There's new opportunities and new growth and new experiences with every single breath. So this breath that we just took some deep, deep breaths of is another way to consciously accept and receive life energy. Accept and receive and allow that life energy, that life force to express from you, to express from a place of knowing that you have more than enough. You have more than enough oxygen to experience this day, this opportunity, this opening for your heart to express itself in all of your unique ways. So I want to welcome all of you today, and if there is a specific area that you would like me to focus this spiritual principle of abundance on today, please put it into the chat box, or if you're on the call, I have my phone nearby and you can press *6 and that'll put you in the queue and it'll allow me to see what areas you would really love to focus. A lot of my clients this month have been focusing on the energy of love, of relationships. When we are in the holiday season, we are surrounded by our loved ones. We're also remembering and bringing into our heart space the loved ones that have done. And so it feels as if there's an energy in this season that love and relationships is something that is of deep interest. So we can focus on that area, and I'll tap into all the different areas because abundance is really the understanding and the belief of you are completely sourced and applied with everything you need in every moment, whether it's breath, whether it's love, whether it's financial support, whether it's opportunities for you to express what matters most to you. I'm not really sure what's happening when it's flickering in and out, but there's some things going on with the internet. So please be patient and let me know that you can actually hear me. I'm going to turn the volume up. Thank you for letting me know that I needed to do that. And so as we are opening ourselves up to the divine flow of even more in our life, it allows us to recognize where in our lives we believe that we're only allowed so much. So, and a lot of these principles, I've been studying the science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles for years. It is a profound, beautiful, amazing book of spiritual practices, spiritual principles, spiritual understanding of ourselves as abundant beings. We were born of abundance. We were born of love. We were born of all good things. And so I'm going to be touching a little bit into the principles from that book. And also I'm going to be touching into the principles from this little book that's packed with amazing principle by John Randolph Price called The Abundance Book. And I'm going to be inviting you also to take a 30-day challenge in an area that you might be feeling a sense of lack right now. So without further ado, we will begin. And it really does start with, what do you believe? What do you believe about abundance? Do you believe that you were born of abundance? That abundance is your true nature? That abundance is all around you? I know that I've shared this in some of my other webinars on this particular topic of abundance and prosperity, and understanding the infinitude of the universe, the infinitude that is the universe within us. That's extraordinary. We can't even count the number of blood cells in our body. That is and the oxygen in order for our body temples to be operating at an optimum vibration at all times. And it really starts with, what do you believe? Do you believe that you are abundance itself? That you are made in the image and the likeness of abundance? That there really is only this one source, one supply, and that is by the Creator itself. And we were all born from that same source. We are infinitely sourced. So it's not about receiving abundance, it's about being abundance. My spiritual mentor, Mary Morrissey, would say, you cannot have anything you're not willing to receive or accept as your truth. So if you believe that you are abundance, and you start vibrating and being in this energy field of, there's abundance all around you, there's abundance within you, there's abundance of all good things, as you open up the pathways and the floodgates to allow and to accept that truth for yourself. There is no separation. Even in the field of this technology, I'm speaking here from my home office in Big Bear Lake, California, and wherever you are in the world, you're tapped in, you're tuned in, and there's no separation. We are connected. You are as near as this recording, and as we are sharing this space together, there's only oneness. There's only this unified field of consciousness that helps us to remember that we are in this energy. We are with God. And with God, all things are possible. And when all things are possible, we are living from the energy and the understanding and the truth and the knowing that we are abundance. We are abundant. And so tapping into that we can live in this field of flowing energy. Abundance is everywhere. Like I said, we can't even count the number of blood cells in our body. We can't count the number of raindrops in an ocean or in a lake or in a stream or on a tree. We can't count those because they're the more that we count, we would get to the top of the tree and count all the needles on the tree. And in the time that we have started counting and the time we get to the top of the tree, new needles have been expressed from the inside of that tree. And that's exactly how it is for each one of us. And when we let abundance flow into our lives and from our knowing heart, our believing mind, all things are possible. Abundance is everywhere. You are abundance in the flesh because that is your true nature. And when we start embodying the qualities and the truth of us, and we start living from that place, everything starts to ripple out, like throwing a pebble into a pond. You put that truth pebble into your knowing heart. I am abundance. And everything that I could wish for, want for, hope for, desire is already mine. I just need to allow it. I just need to make it welcome into my experience, into my life. And as you do that, you are putting yourself in harmony with so many more things. Like I said, this is living in the flow of more. And it's also from living at a higher level of consciousness. When we're in victim and we're feeling limited and we're feeling constricted and we're feeling fearful because we forget that we are of God. We forget that all things are possible. We forget that we are made in the infinite nature of all things possible, God. And we're living in this victim energy and we feel constricted and we feel hemmed in and um, we feel this sense of nothing is going right, nothing is possible for me, and it continues to make us feel smaller and smaller and smaller and shrinks the opportunities that are all around us. And when we start raising the level of our understanding and we start deepening that practice of acknowledging and reminding ourselves that we are abundance. I am abundance itself. I am love. I am joy. I am peace. I am freedom. I am harmony. All of those qualities of God that we are innately born of, that is our true nature. And when we're not thinking of those thoughts and we're allowing outside energy, outside forces to affect what we're believing of that's possible for ourselves, that's when we start to feel hemmed in. So pay attention to what your thoughts are thinking when you feel that sense of constriction or fear or worry or doubt. What were you thinking right before that? That was then dropped down into your heart space. And then you started feeling it even more. And that started vibrating out. And then more things for you to worry about. You started putting your focused attention on things that were not true, but they rippled out from this initial untruth. What is it that is getting your attention and keeping you at a sense of limitation or lack. Pay attention to that. Even if you have a pen and paper nearby, which I always recommend whenever you're in one of the webinars with me, or even in any other classes, when you are in the energy field of um, this kind of mastermind or infinite mind energy, you're opening yourself up to think in higher ways, think in more expanded ways, and you want to catch the ideas that are coming to you and through you for you, that are here to assist you and guide you and support you in your next phase, your next level of becoming, and becoming aware of even more of who you are. So I want to share with you this prayer of Jabez. There's this sweet little book. This particular prayer um, is the foundation of this book, and it's actually, the book is called The Prayer of Jabez. And it was introduced to me about 10, maybe 12 years ago. And it touched me so deeply that it was an understanding of how I could really deepen my relationship with abundance and all things possible, and even more, and expanding my territory, expanding my awareness. So I want to read this to you right now. Oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that your hand would be with me, and that you would keep me from evil. So God granted him what he requested. Oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory. In the biblical times, uh, people were named by an energy that their parents were feeling at a particular time, at the time of their birth. And Jabez meant ye of little faith, and it was when we are labeled, just like if we are labeled a disease, or we are labeled um, a certain or a certain creed, or a certain um, uh, status in our culture, we are labeled, and that label isn't the truth of who you are. It's a label, just like your name is a label, but it doesn't define who you are. Who you are is of God. Who you are is of good, is of more, is of love and truth and peace and joy and abundance. And so he prayed. He prayed believing. And his prayer was, oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that your hand would be with me, and that you would keep me from evil. And God granted him what he requested, because he was in the energy of believing. He absolutely believed that he was a good person. He was a man who was here to experience more of life, not this limited, myopic um, life that he was living. He wanted to bust out from that prison. And just like, I know that was a huge uh, inspiration for my program called Set Yourself Free Now. We have to look at the places that we are hemmed in and feeling a sense of limitation, feeling a sense of this is all there is. But those are the beliefs that are so deeply seeped in our subconscious mind and then reverberated from the people or the energy around us as we are believing that about ourselves. And when we want to bust through and say, this is not, I do not believe this about myself. I want to enlarge my territory. I want to experience more in my life. I want to spread my wings and soar and really be who God intended me to be. Be all that I am here to be. Experience all that I'm here to experience. Share and serve and love and give and receive from a bigger place. And as we do that, as we open up ourselves and expand our muscle of believing, we touch that part of us that is our truth, our knowing heart. And I was watching one of my dear mentors, Wayne Dyer, who recently passed. I have a beautiful video series that I watch and I practice on a regular basis. He's a brilliant teacher, and he was sharing this morning about muscle testing, and when we are of our truth, no one can move our arms, no matter how hard they try, because our energy is coming out from our heart space that is uh, in vibration and in harmony with our truth. And when we are in a lower vibration, when we're feeling a sense of, he used an example of wanting to get retribution to someone who has harmed us or hurt us or um, um, caused us pain or grief, and if we had that energy in our heart, he could just, like, it was like the man's arm was like jello. So you can almost do that with yourself. You can give yourself that time and that space to even play with the idea of when you are thinking untruths about yourself or someone else, and you're connecting with the energy of fear, worry, doubt, anxiety, um, limitation. Feel your energy. You feel heavy. You feel weighted down. You don't feel light and vibrant when you are thinking thoughts of love, gratitude, um, harmony, when you're thinking thoughts of love about someone that represents unconditional love for you. You know that you have a lightness to you. You have this sense of yourself that feels connected. You feel unstoppable, and you want to keep staying in those higher vibration energies that will always bring about more. And more is synonymous with abundance. And the more you raise your vibration, what you believe and what you come to know about yourself as your truth, and it is the truth that shall set you free. This is the way you want to be living more and more and more from in every moment. And these are muscles. These are spiritual muscles that are vitally important to the quality of the life that you're living. In order to love your life now, you must embody the energy and the truth of love, and continuously stay in higher vibration questions that allow you to keep raising the bar and keep raising your conscious awareness of where you are in every moment so that you can be in the flow of love, of harmony, of abundance, of prosperity, of joy, of peace. It was John Lennon's anniversary of his 35th anniversary of his death yesterday, and there were many friends on Facebook that were sharing some wonderful, wonderful information about his life and his messages, his music, and the song "Imagine" has always been a beautiful touchstone for me. And someone had sent a YouTube video of that particular recording, and it was so beautiful and such an incredible reminder for us to tap into, for me to tap into the power of my mind to imagine all the people living for the world, and that raised the vibration of, all the people, allness. What is it that you want to experience more of? So as you are looking at the areas of your life where you see abundance, where do you see abundance in your life right now? I love this beautiful picture of her holding the moon, and there's this little sliver, but you can feel the energy of all of it. I have everything I need in life. My supply is limitless, and I continually accept gifts from the universe. We must not only be great givers, we must become great receivers. And I know there's so many of you with me today and on this webinar that are so generous. You're such lovers of service and humanity, and here to do great work in the world. And I remember when I was going through my practitioner studies with Reverend Michael, and we were all sitting in this beautiful circle in a sanctuary, and it was a Q&A session with him, and someone had asked him the question, what was the most challenging spiritual practice that you can share with us that was not only a challenge, but it also opened you up to accept even more for yourself and your work in the world and your sense of service. And I remember he said he had always been a great giver. He'd always, tithing his time, tithing his talents, tithing his treasures, giving, giving, giving. But in the area of receiving, which is the, we live in this universe of duality. As you give, so shall you receive. As you receive, so you shall you give. But it's about the givingness first, but you can't just do half of the equation. You must give, you must receive as graciously as you give. And he said that was a great challenge for him. He said he even had a hard time receiving compliments, receiving uh, people who were so grateful for his service. He just, he would just kind of shy away. So, where is it in your life that you could receive more? That you could open up yourself in this moment and Receive more. Allow yourself to receive more. And maybe it's compliments. Maybe it's receiving kind words from others. And you have a great practice of giving compliments and making people feel wonderful. But when it comes to them complimenting you, you kind of, oh no, it's okay. I'm just, and you just shy off. When in fact, it would be another blessing and a gift that you would give someone else by receiving that beautiful compliment. Just like when you give a gift, if that person wasn't going to receive it with with the open arms and the open heart that in which you gave it, it would lose some of its meaning, some of its passion, some of its power. So look in the different areas that you could allow yourself to receive even more and accept the gifts from the universe, whether it's love or compliments or financial support, financial in the realm of money. We know that it's the law of circulation that we are talking about here, and when it's also a part of in the financial realm when you give with that open heart, like the tithing, and you have a regular tithing practice, open yourself up to the understanding that as you give, you must keep that door open to allow yourself to receive. It is God's great pleasure to give us the kingdom. And I use a lot of principles in all of my coaching programs. And as you engage in this type of expanded thinking on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, your life begins to change in ways you had no idea was possible for you. And that's where, once again, as you giving your attention to expanding your life, so shall you receive the instruction, the support, the benefits, the blessings of engaging in your mind and in your heart new ways of operating in the world, new ways of engaging in certain activities, how it is that you even get up in the morning. I know that most of you know of my morning gratitude practice. And gratitude is the great multiplier. When you are feeling a sense of lack or limitation, stop in that moment and not only think, but drop it down into the great room and feel those things that you are grateful for. The loving relationships, the opportunities for your growth and expansion, the ways in which you can be of greater service, the check that comes in the mail, the phone call from an unexpected old friend, your near and dear loved ones in the form of four-leggeds, whatever it is that you are grateful for, allow yourself to think and feel that so that you can be at that vibration and allow even more to come to you as a magnet to receive and accept these two gifts of the universe. So what are you willing to allow in your life? I know I've shared with many of you one of my favorite book than one of my teachers, mentors, Gay Hendricks, Dr. Gay Hendricks. And he wrote a book called The Big Leap. And in that, he talks about spiritual principle in a myriad of ways, abundance of ways. But one of the things that he shares in this particular teaching is that in order for us to leap to this next phase, this next level of our life, we have to become aware of our set point. And he talks about it like a thermostat on a wall in your room. We all have a thermostatic setting of how much good we will allow into our lives. How much love, how much money, how much freedom, how much peace, how much joy, how much are each of you, each of us, willing to allow. So we talked about this at the very beginning of the webinar, to choose a particular area that you would like to allow even more flow in your life, and bring that area in mind right now. And if it's the financial realm, look at your last 3 years of your income and put those numbers down, and then, or 4 years. So put those numbers down and then add them up and divide them by 4. That's the number that you are willing, abundance, that you're willing to allow that kind of flow in your life, in that realm. And if in fact you are at a crossroads in your life and you are ready to up level your allowance, your ability to allow even more good into your life, this is an opportunity. We're coming towards the end of this year, and we're going to be starting a brand new year, January 1st, 2016. And if you are really ready and willing to allow even more flow into your life, allow yourself to have a personal one-on-one conversation with me about where you are and where you want to go and what you would love for 2016 to look like for you, and to bust through that glass ceiling of what you've been willing to allow up until now. And you are ready to open up the floodgates and allow the river to flow, allow the waterfall to flow into the abundance in and as and through your life. I allow abundance to flow into me, for I am the divine receptacle for this blessing. I have a visualization journey that I take my clients on, and just opening ourselves up to experience ourselves as a vessel for God, a vessel for good, a vessel for pure spirit to work through us, to flow through us. And if we open up the crown of our heads and allow this divine energy to flow through us, through all of our system, and out through our bloodstream and our energy field, and cleanse all of our organs and our bloodstream, so that we can be even more receptive to the good and the grace of God. That's what abundance is all about. Allowing yourself to accept and receive even more, even more, even more. And as you do, your whole life, every single area is touched. Every single area is affected. Because abundance really, truly is a state of mind, a state of awareness, a state of being, not of having. When we are being abundance, all goodness are flowing to us and through us for us. When we are being that vibrational match, everything comes to meet us there. And it is a state of being. Just like being love, being joyful, being grateful. It's not a doing thing. You don't doing grateful. You don't doing joyful. You be it. And as you are being abundance, and you are being loving, being peaceful, being joyful, everything like that shows up. Everything that is a vibrational match to what you are being in that moment. Because we really are spiritual beings having a human experience. And when we are in alignment with our spiritual beingness, the truth of us, that's when we're living at our highest level of being. That's when we're living at our greatest truth. And it is the truth that shall set you free. And I go deep, deep, deep into that, into the energy and the knowing in my Set Yourself Free program. And as you set yourself free, it is the truth that shall set you free. You are being more and more and more of your truth in every moment. And so as you are looking at the different areas of your life that you are opening up to allow and receive even more, also know that abundance is synonymous with gratitude. With gratitude. So when you give with love, receive with gratitude. And with God, all things are possible. And when you are living with the energy of being with something, there's no separation. When you're giving with love, you're giving with that open hand and open heart. And as you give, so shall you receive. And when you're receiving with gratitude, you're continuously raising the bar, raising the vibration from which you are living and being. And with that, all things are possible. And when all things are possible, you are living absolutely in that place of abundance, abundance for all of the extraordinary blessings and gifts that are in your life. And as you live and receive with gratitude, even more shows up. So, once again, decide to live your dreams. Decide to live from your truth in all the areas of your life. And whether you're focused on one or two of those areas at this particular time, know that everything is affecting everything. If your health and well-being is suffering right now, more than likely, so are your relationships, or so is your career. And it ultimately affects your finances. So as you decide at that level, what is the next phase? What is the level that you want to accept and allow and be willing to receive even more good in any of those areas? They're absolutely affecting every area. And let your good expand. This is how we can open ourselves up. When you live your life believing that it's yours, it is yours. It is yours by your divine inheritance. You are made in the image and the likeness of God, of good, of all things possible. And when you live at that level, when you're not living at that level, you can feel the friction, and you can contain it. You can ask yourself in that particular moment, what was I thinking about that allowed myself to feel something that did not feel good? It's that ickiness. And you want to be able to acknowledge and be aware of that instantly so that you can let that go. And the strongest single factor in prosperity consciousness is self-esteem. Believing that you can do it, believing you deserve it, believing you will get it. Because it is in the believing that all things are possible. Believe and it shall be given unto you. And it is really about believing in your true nature, believing that that you and God, with God, all things are possible. And as this continues to be how you are being in the world, all things begin to continue to expand and open you up to even more. So I want to invite you and to offer this opportunity for a complimentary break-free session. If you are really truly ready to love your life now, to up-level the ways in which you are experiencing life in and as and through you, as the truth of you, as the truth that you are abundance, is the truth that you are loving, that you are joyful, you are peaceful, you are prosperous in all things. This is what we will focus on individually, like talking specifically one-on-one, where you are, where you want to go. What do you want 2016 to open up for you? How is it that you would love to up-level your own experience of yourself, of recognizing and honoring and celebrating and receiving that truth deep in your cells, deep in your awareness of you and all that you have come to be, to do, to give, and to have. It is my great honor and my pleasure to gift you with a break-free session. So just go onto my website. It's right on my homepage. Put in your name and your email address, and the calendar will show up, the time trade, and we will carve out that 30 minutes to talk about where you are, where you want to go, and what's possibly holding you back. And I'll share with you some tips that will assist you in up-leveling where you are in that moment. And I'll also share with you some of the programs that I teach, that I coach, that I offer, that I am so passionate about to inspire and empower people who are really, truly ready to take their life to that next level. So it's been an honor and a pleasure being with you today. If you've gotten benefit and value out of today's webinar, please don't keep me a secret. Put a note on the Facebook page that gave you this information for you to get into this particular webinar today, and share it with your friends. It's another way that you can give so that you can live at a high level of being and love the life that you're living now. Thank you so much. Peace and richest blessings. Namaste.